like an Olympian on bikes. Last time we were with you, we showed you 3 exercises to avoid, right?
We did, and so today we're going to balance that out with showing you 3 exercises that you should definitely be doing so that you can run like an Olympian.
Awesome. Okay, let's get to it. Alright, so number 3, I really wish this was on the last video because I'm very bad at it, but we're going to do the attempt. Yeah. So what is number 3, Joanna?
Number 3 is called a kneeling calf hamstring stretch, and we know that you runners, all of us, have just really tight hamstrings, really tight calves, and this stretch will get both of those at the same time.
Right.
Especially that really high hamstring area, like when you sit down and you're like, oh, that hurts to sit. This is going to help stretch that.
Okay. Obviously, a little tightness is needed to run well, but so we're not going to overdo it.
Not as tight as you're going to be.
Not as tight as I'm going to be.
All right. So to get in the right position here, you're just going to start on your knees, and we're going to start with our right leg.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to bring our right leg out so that your heel is on the mat with your toe facing straight up.
Oh yeah, that's a good stretch.
Now he's already stretched. And if you want to get your hips level and...
Right. Now this side's really hard for me. This is why this is not just a stretch, it's an exercise, because we're already firing muscles
just to stabilize here.
Yeah.
And then if you can, you want to reach toward the mat. And if you need more of a stretch, you can bring your left knee back.
Or you can just
stand.
Hang out here.
Yeah. And so the key here is really make sure that that toe is pointing up, because that will give you a really nice stretch in your calf. And the closer you can get to the mat, you're also going to get some good hamstring stretch. And you'll hold this for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And after 30 seconds, if you're able to, take this hand and reach it over.
She always has an able to. There's always something extra.
The next level. And this stretch is really going to help promote good foot strength and some flexibility.
Right. It definitely, I always feel better after it.
It's going to actually open up the hip that's with the knee on the ground. So you're really getting a double stretch.
You're getting the best of both worlds here.
Yep.
Now, what about overdoing this? I mean, we don't want people getting in here and ripping their legs apart.
You want to stretch to where it's just a little bit uncomfortable, but not where you're just like, oh my gosh, 30 seconds, when's it going to be over?
Yeah. So honestly, you may be right here the first time you do this.
And you know, if you can look in the mirror as well, you can see Brandon's hips he's got one that's way up. So ideally you'd like to have your hips level. And so that's part of getting better at this exercise.
Right. Cool.
So after about a minute, then you want to switch legs. And don't be surprised if you're better on one side than the other.
I'm better on this side, because this is my bad side.
All right, show us what you can do.
Well, you can just see already that like my hips aren't as high. And then, I mean, I can come down a little bit. It just feels different. You're gonna feel an imbalance.
Yeah.
But this is a great exercise because you can gauge your progress on how far you can reach and where you can go. And I feel better just doing a little bit like that.
All right. Well, maybe we should go for a run.
Oh, it's cold out. No. All right. So this is number 2. And I think when Joanna shows you this one, you're gonna recall the Jane Fonda tapes that maybe your parents watched when they were young, right? What is it?
You know, she was ahead of her time.
I know, she was, because watch what we're about to do. What is it?
All right, so this is a glute medius exercise, sideline glute medius exercise.
Yeah.
And runners just notoriously are very weak in their glutes. And that is such a big muscle.
Yeah.
If you can strengthen that, you can really drive with the glutes, especially when you're running uphill or if you get to the end of a race and you're very tired, the glute shuts down.
Right.
That's when you see people getting the wobble.
And this is going to help just keep it firing in general,
This is
right?
going to help strengthen it, keep it firing, get a little bit of good momentum going. So with this one, the setup is key. You want to really make sure that you're in a good position. So you want to lie on your side. So I'm lying on my left side.
See?
I'm going to bend my lower leg so that it's at a 90-degree angle. And the top leg is going to be the one doing the work. You want to make sure that your hip is forward. So people are going to have the tendency to roll back.
Right, they're going to want to sit back like this.
You don't want to sit back like this. You want to really roll forward. And you can start with, and make sure that your foot is dorsiflexed. And you're just going to lift up and down. And you should start feeling a burn right here in the side of your butt. And you start with about 15 reps, eventually working up to about 60 or 70 reps if possible.
So, Joanna, why aren't we using any equipment here?
The reason why we aren't using any equipment is because we want to make this so you can do this at home when you have time.
All right.
These are great exercises to do. You don't have to have the equipment and still gain some strength.
Right. I mean, I can feel the burn already.
Yeah.
They never get easy.
And what did you do, 3?
Oh, I did a little more than 3, but they never get easy, right? We always complain about that.
Because you can always just add on more reps.
Yeah. So do them, but don't expect that it's going to get easy. All right, so we're down to the number 1 exercise that you should be doing to run like an Olympian. What is it, Joanna?
This one is a ball hamstring curl with a heel lift. So a lot of people know the traditional ball hamstring curl, but we're going to add just a little twist.
All right, and this is a little bit of an exercise to combat that one in the last video, right?
Well, in the last video we talked about back extensions, which can really lead to some injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And for people that want to strengthen their lower back, this actually will give you a lot of strengthening in the low back, in the abdominals, in the calf, in the hamstring, and the glutes. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck for this one exercise.
You are, and I think that's a common theme here. The ones that we told you not to do are super easy. These are a little more complex.
Yeah.
Because
So
they get more goods.
right. So
yeah.
when I say get a lot of bang for your buck, it means that it's probably going to be pretty tough. But
right. But hang in there. We're going to show you how to do it.
Okay.
All right.
So you need a nice Physio ball, preferably one that's full.
These are a little soft, so you do want to make sure that you're...
All right, so you're just gonna get on your back, and with your legs out straight, your heels on the top of the ball, put your arms on the mat, okay, and then you're gonna lift your hips up, bring the ball in, and then keep your feet on the ball, and then you're gonna lift your heels. So you really feel a lot of work in the hamstrings and the glutes while you're doing this. Make sure you keep the hips up. So the tendency is going to be to really stagger the hips.
That is my tendency.
So keep the hips up, and you can start off about 30 seconds and work your way to about a minute.
Right.
And then the variation.
You
Single
know,
leg.
2 variations, come on. Everybody, it's okay to be like me and be at variation 0 and just hold it here. You're going to feel awesome.
Yeah, don't be surprised if you get maybe a little cramp or something in your hamstring.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hamstring work, but very beneficial.
And what does that mean when it cramps? I mean, that happens to me all the time, as you know. It just means that it's retraining it to fire, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. But I'll tell you what, 0 variation is very difficult. Variation 1 with the heel, even more difficult. And variation 3, it's advanced. So work towards it. Get in here and do it, and maybe someday I'll get to variation 3.
All right, take 1,000. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of How to Run Like an Olympian.
Yeah, obviously we know there's a lot of great exercises that you can be doing to improve your running, but these were our top 3 picks that you can do at home, right?
That's right. These are really great exercises that you can do every day.
Yeah, so remember, you can go check out more information on us and what we offer at racereadycoaching.com. We've got great running programs from 5K to marathon, as well as awesome exercises that are in there. So racereadycoaching.com, go check it out.